Ladies and gentlemen, my name is James Nathan VanBebber. Where am I from? Well, this planet that was over by Neptune. I don't know, but somehow I ended up on Earth. I started out with doing stop motion animation because I was really intrigued, by Ray Harryhausen. I saw the re-release of Seventh Voyage of Sinbad in the theater. It just clocked me, right? And I was like, how do you do that? I want to do that. And so you start out doing that, and then you realize that after a point, it's like, I'd like to work with actors. Hey, brother. Hey, sister. You're actors, right? And then it launches out to your friends. I had my repertory cast, and I had a crew. I knew what the hell I was doing. And then suddenly you graduate high school. And there was a little contest at Wright State University for a scholarship. And I showed my film against a couple others that were pretty good. And I won. So I got in and I went to Wright State. First year was fucking great because we had a young professor, Jim Dolan, and he just taught Super 8. That was it. That was the year, right? Learning Super 8. And I was like, fuck, I already know it. So I just made epics. What I was really interested in was the next year. And then a gift from God. Down from the heavens came Jim Klein and Julia Reichert, real filmmakers, Oscar-nominated documentarians, and hippies par deluxe from the 60s. Which went right up my alley. I love them. And they saved my life because they came in. I said, fuck yeah, I'll go back to school. So I learned 16 millimeter from them. And then I met the cool cats, Marcelo and Mike King. Those cats were no joke. They came on strong. It was a triangle, Asmodeus. And it was 3 parts. And I'm very proud of them. And I love them forever. I don't know what they think of me, but I love those guys. We were a band. And we rock and rolled for a little while, man. And we got a couple #1 hits. I saw Bruce on screen in the English language transition of Way of the Dragon, which was called Return of the Dragon. And that just changed my life. And I got involved in martial arts. It got really serious when I went to Dayton, and I knew at Wright State that I was going to do Deadbeat. I'm like, okay, I got to kick this up. I got to really study. Who the hell knows what his real name was? But he called himself Mustafa Kenyatta. Mustafa, Sifu Mustafa Kenyatta. And you bow to that motherfucker. And he taught me the hip shit. We'd train to fucking shaft and shit. Dude, I mean, it was incredible. Every good director is a good actor, in my opinion. They know the language. You can speak the language. You can feel their pain. There's a lot of empathy issues going on with actors, and people think it's easy. It ain't easy. Acting is not easy. Good acting is not easy. I have the highest respect for it. When you're in a scene and you are the character and your reality is this, and maybe it's that character and this character too and somebody behind you or whatever in this, or maybe it's just a room and you, whoever, whatever, you have to draw a line, a mental line around the perimeter of you and your scene that excludes the camera and the producers and the script girl and the onlookers and everybody else. And you have this little perimeter, a magic circle, and that's your reality. It's magical because you get it, and it becomes something not what it was. You feel it and you act it, and in between action and cut you live it. Then after cut you take off the uniform and say, hey man, hey, what's up? You know? But no, I mean, when it's time to go on camera to be a killer, you have to kill.
Hey, not yet. Easy.
I know you've got a taste for it now. Come here, Dink. Hey, Charlie.
What the hell else were we supposed to do? I mean, I really ask you that as a filmmaker. Like, if you had a script, said, okay, this happens and this happens, what are you going to do? Well... I mean, I had staked out the Mad River, man. I looked at it, and I looked, and I saw this bend. And it was a deep bend, right? Because most of it's pretty shallow. But this bend, I could tell, went down 40, 50 feet. I was like, that's enough. That's enough to sink it. We can do this. We got up early in the morning. We got real high. I think we had a couple of beers. And we went out to my spot. We tied off the steering wheel. And we put a cinder block on the fucking motherfucking accelerator. Right? And that thing fucking spun out. And it smashed into this fence. It totally didn't go straight, right? Because I wanted to just go straight and hit my spot and disappear, right? It didn't do that at all. It went and took down this fucking fence, and we're all like, oh my God, we gotta get rid of this car. 7 fucking people trying to push this car into the goddamn Mad River, and then we're like, fucking get out of here, run! And we ran, and then a week later, me and Mike King are in, you know, your class in film school at Wright State. We're in Millette Hall, and we're sitting there in our little desks, and there's a knock. And then everybody looks over, and it's a fucking sheriff. And he comes in and goes, is Michael King and James Nathan VanBebber here? And we got, you know, they put the fear of God in us, but they're like, okay. I mean, probably wouldn't fly now, but at the time, they gave us, as long as we paid for getting that car out of there, and we had to, and it was a bunch of money, we got it out of there, you know, and fuck it. I got it on film. I'm a fighter, and sometimes that gets more, you know, recognition than my films. It's like they're more celebrated for how they were made than what they are at this point, and I don't really like that. Anyway, I'm glad to be appreciated, of course. You know, it's an honor. I think Deadbeat is a good time. The sequel sure will be if somebody will pony up the money for that. I would love to get IFC or somebody behind this, and this is all coming down the hatch. I'm hesitant to go after big money at this point because I feel like these are the last days of me having my own control over the puppet show. Right now I'm concentrating on just finishing JoJo, you know, the segment I gotta do. At the end of the day, it's a business, so somehow you gotta make money on this, and so in a low budget realm that I exist in, pay your people what you can, feed them, treat them nice, you know, wish them a good day, and get what you can, you know. I mean, it's tough. I mean, I've never, well, a couple times I had a fat budget, and those were certainly celestial fucking shoots. They were incredible. But I don't dwell on them as like where I live, because they were fantasy things for me. I'd like that to come back in the future, but right now I'm just doing what I need to do, man, which is keep making movies.
Hey, Goose!
Danny and the spiders are moving on us.
We can cut them off at the cemetery if we hurry. I'll go tell the rest of the Ravens.
I'm a guy who grew up, like I said, going to drive-ins, into hard tops, who really knew cinema and who believed in cinema and bought into it and still will never let it go. And as I age, so does it. And it's sad. We're gone. It's a dying art, you know. The last waltz, man. It sucks. I hate it. No, I don't see anything promising about the digital age or anything. You know, for 35 years they've been going, well, look, it almost looks like 35 millimeter. You know, it never does. It never does. And it never will, because it's not. It's fake. It's a facsimile. It's a Xerox. It's bullshit. Prints and projected prints in a big one-screen auditorium. That's the only way to do it. And I would hope, in my vision of the future, that becomes the norm, that somehow the new generations reject this digital bullshit and walking around looking in their phones, and would embrace the old mavericks and celebrate what's really good in life. God, I mean, all you kids who missed out on going to drive-ins back in the day when there was a Grindhouse movie on, oh man, baby, you haven't lived. And I would hope that would come back. Make drive-ins great again. Make independent releasing great again. Make art houses great again. Together, we can make cinema wealthy again. We can make independent cinema safe again. We can make American independent cinema great again. Think what you want about what I've just said. Doesn't matter. I'm working for the big man. And I'm going to go as long as I can, doing the righteous thing. And God help all you criminals. Amen.